have to sue anybody to get, you know, what I thought I had coming.
A man who fought off a terrorist denied workers' comp. Jeff Neville was the police lieutenant who was stabbed in the neck when a convicted terrorist attacked him at Flint's Bishop International Airport in 2017. Fox 66's Stephanie Parkinson sat down exclusively with Neville as he shared his story of what happened when he realized he just could not go back to work.
You know, Dave, workers' comp is really something that Neville just assumed he was entitled to. He never expected to have to fight for it. Well, now he's fighting to help change Michigan's laws so what happened to him never happens again to another first responder.
On the ground that day, fighting with Fatui, I figured that was about all the fighting that I should have to do.
10 months after stopping a terrorist at the top of this escalator at Flint's Bishop International Airport, Jeff Neville says he had to dust himself off and fight another fight, this time with an insurance company.
They cut me off that minute. Never to have workers' comp again.
It was June 21st, 2017, when convicted terrorist Amor Fatui ran out of this bathroom and stabbed Neville in the neck. Neville not only survived, but stopped Fatui from hurting more people. In May 2018, Neville was cleared for duty by his insurance company.
It was a 6-hour battery test that I went through. Most of it related to like motor skills and stuff, math questions and stuff like that. Like I had a brain injury. I didn't have a brain injury.
Neville says at that time, his doctor told him he was still suffering from PTSD. Despite that, Neville tried to go back on the job.
I walked out about 5 hours into it. My blood pressure was spiking, and I was having panic attacks. And I said, no, and I left.
Who would want to go back to work after that? I mean, really.
Neville is now teaming up with his state rep, Mike Mueller, who's also a former police officer, to try and change Michigan law. According to a study by the National Institutes for Health, Neville is not alone. 32% of police officers experience symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. Since 1969, Michigan law states workers must be compensated if a mental disability is caused by an event at work. But unlike a physical injury, when it comes to mental health, it's harder to get a non-disputable diagnosis.
I sure would like to take some of the power that the corporate insurance companies have away.
Right now, insurance companies determine which doctors do those evaluations. Representative Mueller wants only doctors trained in how to deal with police officers to be the ones who decide when an officer is fit again for duty, something that could have helped in Neville's case.
Once they're clinically diagnosed with something, you can, try to get rid of the red tape to try to get the benefits that they need.
The way the system works right now,
you have to sue workers' comp. That's pretty much the way it's built.
That process took Neville nearly a year.
I feel as whole as I'm going to get.
Neville decided then to retire from police work for good.
I really was worried that I might overreact. Maybe somebody pushed a little bit, that maybe I might overcompensate.
Now, Neville is doing something very different.
More hardwood floors.
Working as a realtor in Grand Blanc.
I was able to retire from the airport and start a new career, and I'm good now.
Still, he's eager to see this legislation through, hoping nobody else has to go through what he endured.
I went to work that day. I did my job. I didn't abuse anybody. I didn't do anything wrong. I got attacked by an international terrorist. I still fail to see why I should have had to have been placed in financial jeopardy.
Wow. So what happens next with these efforts to get the state laws changed?
Dave, this will be a lengthy process. Representative Mueller tells me he's in this very early stages still with this. And as a former cop, he actually has a very similar story to Neville's. Right now, what he's doing in Lansing is bringing people together in a think tank really to brainstorm, and then he hopes to start drafting legislation after that process.
Very brave. Neville coming out again, recapping all of that with you. Brave man.